In this video, we're going to talk about the simple past tense.
Extra English practice.
The simple past is the tense we use to talk about things that happened in the past. There are things that are finished, so they started and they ended in the past.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Past. To form the simple past, you just take the subject and then add ed onto a regular verb. So I could say, I ask many questions in general, usually, but yesterday I asked only a couple. So I ask, ed, asked. That's the simple past.
There are some spelling rules to follow when you're making the simple past with a regular verb. The first one is normally we add ed, but if it's a verb that ends with e, like love, then you just add a d. I loved that movie we saw last week.
Me too.
Another example is phone. This morning I phoned my mom to make some plans.
If the verb ends in a y, then we have a couple of options. If it's a vowel and a y at the end, we just add ed. So for example, play, played. I played a game of Scrabble yesterday.
Oh, I love Scrabble.
Me too. If the verb ends in a consonant and y, like try, we delete that y, we get rid of it, change it to an I, and then add ed. So I tried my best, but I didn't win.
She cried when she didn't win.
Another one. Good choice.
Yeah. In verbs that end in a vowel and then a consonant, like stop, which ends in OP, we double the consonant. So stopped, S-T-O-P-P-E-D. This isn't always the case, but if you have a shorter word or a syllable that is emphasized, then this happens. If that syllable with the vowel and the consonant is not emphasized, then you don't need to do this. So for example, in a word like prefer, which is a two-syllable word with the stress on the second syllable, then we would double it.
Yep.
Preferred, 2 R's. But in a word like travel, which has the emphasis on the first syllable and the second syllable is weak, then we don't double it. At least not in Canadian or American English.
Can I make a sentence?
Yeah.
I preferred... No.
You were going to try to put them together, weren't you?
I was. Can you put them together?
I preferred to go to Paris, but my mom disagreed, so we traveled to Rome.
Nicely done. We're just going to give you now a bunch of verbs which are common and are regular when you use them in the past. So one could be remembered,
And looked,
asked,
wanted,
used,
worked,
tried,
called,
slipped,
fixed,
liked.
needed.
Unfortunately, many of the most common verbs in English are irregular verbs. So these verbs don't take ed on the end when we use them in the simple past. So verbs like be, we don't say I beed happy. Or go, we don't say I goed to the store.
No.
These verbs have their own special endings, special forms, and you have to learn them.
Yeah, sorry.
Many of them are common, so you will have heard them. So before we tell you, why don't you go through this list of verbs and see how many you know the irregular past for already.
Good luck. So be in the past is was or were.
Have, had.
Do, did.
Say, said.
Get, got.
Make, made.
Go, went.
Know, knew.
Take, took.
See, saw.
Come, came.
Think, thought.
Give, gave.
Find, found.
Tell, told.
Feel, felt.
Leave, left.
Understand, understood.
Buy, bought.
Run, ran.
So we know it's hard to remember all these forms, but you should know that most grammar books would have a list in the back of the 3 forms of a verb. Or if you Google verb forms, English verb forms online, you would easily find many lists to help you.
And as we said, these are common verbs, so you'll hear them a lot, and it'll help you remember.
Yeah, I'm sure you know lots of them already.
All right, we're going to do a little activity now. In this activity, we are each going to give you a list of 10 things that we did in the past. Something that happened in our lives.
Yeah.
And then the other one, and you can play along, are going to kind of order them, see if we can figure out which things came first. So basically, we're putting our timelines in order. Misha, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So these are 10 things I did in my life. I broke my arm. I moved to Montreal. I made my first trip abroad with my brother. I lived in Laos. I graduated university. I studied to be an English teacher. I got my driver's license. I lived on a goat farm. I visited Rwanda and Burundi. I flew on an airplane for the first time.
Okay, now our job is to figure out what Misha did first, second, third, all the way to the end. So I'm going to say that the first thing of this list that you did was live on a goat farm. You lived on a goat farm first.
You're right. When I was really little, like a baby until maybe 2 years old, I lived on a goat farm. Good one.
And I'm going to say that the very last thing you did was that you lived in Laos.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
That's
so
the most recent.
First and last I got. Now in between, I'm not sure.
It's a good start, though.
I'm going to say second, you got your driver's license.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, what was second?
Second, I broke my arm.
Oh.
When I was really little, like 4 years old.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I just fell off. I was trying to get my toothbrush from the sink, and I climbed on the sink, and I fell off, and I broke my arm.
That was before you got your driver's license, certainly.
Little kid driver.
So driver's license is third?
Driver's license... No.
Oh, okay, let me see.
It's hard.
Let me see. You flew on an airplane for the first time.
Yes, that's right. I did that when I was about 8.
Where'd you go?
I went to Edmonton, which is quite a ways away in Canada. Canada's pretty big, so it was a 5-hour flight for my uncle's wedding.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nice.
Okay, so after you flew on an airplane, then you got your driver's license.
You got it.
Okay. After that, I would say you graduated university.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
no, sorry. No.
Did you go to India first?
No.
No?
You missed one there.
You moved to Montreal.
I moved to Montreal.
You moved to Montreal. Then you graduated for university.
For university. That's why I moved.
Then you graduated university.
You got it.
Then you went on your first trip abroad. What was the verb? You made your first trip abroad.
Yeah.
To India.
That's right.
With your brother.
Exactly. Just after graduating.
Graduation present.
Yeah, fun way to celebrate.
And after that, you visited Rwanda and Burundi?
Yep, you got it.
Studied to be an English teacher.
That's it.
And lived in Laos.
Exactly.
Oh.
Good work. That was
you.
pretty quick. She did a good job.
I'm amazing.
Okay, now we're going to try Larissa's. So we'll listen to her sentences and look at them, see if we can put them in the right order.
I met Misha. I earned my master's degree. I taught in Chile. I worked at summer camp. I moved away from home. I started a YouTube channel. I got married. I lived in Qatar. And I turned 30.
Okay, these are my guesses.
All right.
I'm going to try to guess the first thing.
Yeah.
I think because this is something people usually do when they're young here, you worked at a summer camp.
Yeah, that was the first thing. I worked there for many summers, but
Did you?
I was always a teenager.
Oh, yeah, when you were young. The next, I think you moved away from home.
Yeah.
Then, it's a tough one. Some of them I know are more recent because we only met a few years ago.
Well, do you want to start at the bottom?
Oh, yeah, okay. The most recent thing, you started a YouTube channel.
Yes.
With me.
Yeah. That was just A year and a half ago?
A year and a half ago. Pretty cool. It's been a good year and a half.
It's been a great one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I think the thing before that is you met Misha.
That's right.
Oh, lucky day for both
Best
of
day
us.
of my life.
Love it. Okay, then this is when it gets tough. Okay, so the first thing was you taught at summer camp, then you moved away from home, then you earned your master's degree?
No. No, that came later.
Okay. Then I think the next thing is you taught in Chile.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
I taught in Chile when I was still in my 20s.
Oh, so young.
Yeah, I was there for just 6 months.
Oh.
But it was a great 6 months.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it. It sounds like it was awesome. I think the next one is you got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. A couple years after I came home from Chile, I got married.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I know that your first son was not born in Canada, your first child. Mm-hmm. So then I think next you moved to Qatar.
Not yet.
Oh,
Something
no.
else first.
Okay, first you earned your master's degree.
Yes.
Okay, and then you moved to Qatar.
Then I moved to Qatar before they awarded me the degree. So I finished the coursework and the major essay. Mm-hmm. And then I moved, and then they gave me the degree. So you can decide.
Who knows? Around the same time. You did the earning of it before. You earned it.
I definitely earned it before, yeah.
Worked hard, I'm sure. Okay, so then we don't have many left. Then I think... I don't know if her son was born before or after she turned 30. I think then your son was born.
No.
Oh, no.
First I turned 30.
I see.
Yeah. Then my son was born.
Then your son was born.
That's it.
That's it.
Because then
Then you moved back here. Met the best person.
And the rest is history.
Here we are. So, to practice the simple past, you should play this game with your friends. See how many different verbs you can use, some regular, some irregular, and see if your friends or classmates can guess.
If you want to play with us, you can write some sentences in the comments and we'll see if we can guess the order of them.
We love to play games with you.
So thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video.
If you want to see more, you should subscribe and click on these videos here.
And don't forget to share.
Any words where there's a vowel and then a consonant, like stop.
At the end.
At the end. Starting again.
Many words have consonants and vowels.
Verbs! Love it.